or glare ice, which means that there's no snow. It's been blown off of a river, and it's like an ice skating rink, and it's pretty crazy. We can see really high winds, so try to get them prepared for all types of scenarios. And we did pretty well this year. I'm really proud of what myself and the team was able to accomplish. My first race, the Copper Basin, like I was saying, we got 10th out of 25 teams.
Oh, wow.
And then my second race, the Yukon Quest, which is our big race here in Fairbanks, I ended up taking 3rd in that one. So really proud of what we were able to accomplish, and hopefully we can build on that in the future and do even better. But I am fairly new to the sport. I've been doing this for roughly about 7 years now, and I've been racing for 3. So I'm still trying to gain that experience myself, and my dog, because it really is a lot to learn, and how to manage your team and keep them all happy and healthy going those really long distances. So our biggest race of the year in Alaska, probably heard of it, it's called the Iditarod. It's happening right now. Actually, that race is 1,000 miles long. Most of the teams right now are 700 to 900 miles into the race, so they're almost finished.
They're almost there, yeah.
Yeah, they're almost there. That race is run Anchorage into Nome. Nome is a little village on the west coast of Alaska, 1,000 miles away from Anchorage. And that race is completely remote. There's no roads that go to it at all. During the race, though, there is checkpoints. Checkpoints are where you can resupply yourself, as well as rest your dogs, get a warm meal to eat, and take a nap if you could. And all of the checkpoints in the Iditarod are remote native villages out in western Alaska in the middle of nowhere. So really cool race. That's my goal here. Hopefully within the next 2 years I'll be able to finish that race. For most mushers, it is a big accomplishment just to get to the finish line, because it is a really tough race. You run over the Alaska Range, which is where the tallest mountain in North America is, Denali. And you know, then you head out and you run along the coast, and you cross over Norton Sound on Bering Sea ice, which can a lot of the times just be bare ice out there, and you cross a very treacherous terrain. So I'm really hoping I can prepare myself and my team within the next 2 years to be able to accomplish such a big event like that is. But most of the teams right now, they're on the coast, and the coast is pretty notorious for really big storms, and knock on wood, they haven't gotten any crazy storms yet, but sometimes it can blow really hard. It can be upwards of 100-mile-an-hour wind gusts out there on the coast, which can make it really hard for a dog team to get through. But you have to run through no matter what Mother Nature throws at you out there. But sometimes the storms get so bad you gotta wait at a checkpoint for days sometimes until the storm passes. Hopefully here in the next couple of years we can get prepared enough to do something like that. But it's a massive time and money commitment. So that's what I'm working towards right now. Not only saving up enough money, but putting in the time and the effort to get my team trained and mature and ready to do a race like that. Because my team is still pretty young. Most of the dogs in this team are 2 years old. So this is only their 2nd year running. And their 1st year running, when they're 1, they're not really doing that long of miles, you know, they're still figuring everything out. I start training my dogs when they're about 6 to 8 months old, and it's really cool. Like when they're that young, they already know how to pull. You put them in a harness, you hook them up, they got the pulling thing down right off the bat. But they have to figure out all the other basics, like to stay on their own side of the gang line. Like you see that one guy, he's on the wrong side. That's Dumbledore. He's actually 1 year old. So he's still figuring things out. Not to chew on things, and I like to, when we stop, I like them to hold the line out nice and tight, and then the dogs get tangled up behind them, things like that. But you'll see, like what I'm doing right now, I'm actually training a leader right now. Cece, she's the one on the front right, the blonde one. She's running next to Buckwheat. He's 5 years old. And most of my dog training is pretty much just pairing up an older, more mature dog like Buckwheat next to Cece, and you know, they basically teach each other. So these guys are really pack-driven animals. You know, they want to do what their friends are doing. So Cece will copy Buckwheat in basically whatever he does. When I call a command, tell him to turn right or left, she'll follow Buckwheat in the right direction, hopefully, and learn from him. So that's my goal with training these guys right now.
How do they know when to speed up?
They speed up when we go around turns. I've kind of tried to teach them that, because when you go around a turn, that wasn't a very sharp turn, but when you have a really sharp turn, you need a lot of speed with your dog team to make it around so you don't get wrapped around a tree or anything with your sled. So I try to teach them to speed up a little bit around the turns. But I also regulate their speed back here. I've got 3 different brakes back here actually, which I'll show you whenever we stop. But the one that I use the most is called a drag mat. That's what I've been standing on this whole time. It's basically a rubber mat on the ground that creates friction. And I stand on that, put weight on it, to help to slow them down. Because I don't want them to run as fast as they can go. I have to regulate their speed so that they have enough stamina to be able to go those long distances. And this is actually a pretty good speed for us right now. We're going a little bit slow at the moment, but most of the time we're going about 8 to 10 miles per hour, which is about what I average doing 300-mile races. 1,000-mile race, they go slightly slower, you know, they're going a lot longer distance. Most of those guys usually average around 7 to 9.
So how many more dogs do you have?
I have 20 dogs.
Oh wow.
I've got 8 in the team right now. I brought 10 with me today, so I can swap 2 out throughout the day if any guys get tired, and also just to give some dogs a little bit of a break, like the younger ones.
Are they all on the same diet?
Yeah, they are. Yep. So this time of the year, you know, their diet's really dependent on a few different factors. Like, number one, how far of a distance are we running that day? 2, how hard of a run was it? And 3, what's the temperature outside? So depending on how far you're going and what the temperature is, they're gonna need more calories throughout the day, especially when it's really cold, because they burn a lot more calories just keeping their own bodies warm. So I feed different types of meats throughout the winter depending on the temperature and their activity level. So when it's really cold, they're getting really high fat meats like beef,